What's up, everybody? My name is Harate, and welcome to Changing the Paradigm. This is not just a YouTube channel, this is home. Your home, my home, and in this home, we prioritize mental health. And as the saying goes, your health is your wealth. So invest in it. Invest in it. Description box. Join the membership today, and let's get the conversation going and let's just be about becoming healthier mentally, right? Today I'd like to talk about the inner child, my understanding of it from experience, from reading, and it was such an interesting concept, because growing up, if I knew I'd have to go back and nurse my inner child, then it would have been something that I would have navigated different. Inner child is it's a concept that I got to know very late in my life. It helped me make sense of a lot of things. So inner child is who you were and the point in your life that you felt you were not protected, or you were abandoned, or you were betrayed, or something happened to you as a child, um, and you didn't receive the amount of protection or support that you needed. And from that time, your inner child has just been reacting, and not in good ways. Sometimes you just feel disconnected with yourself, and that's because from a long time ago you learned distrust. So the inner child requires you to be very, very compassionate to a child that you used to be, to that time, and be able to look at the things that might have brought upon the pain, that might have brought upon distrust, because now you just struggle with trusting people, that brought upon abandonment issues. I think my inner child first experienced abandonment, and I know it wasn't his fault, but when my dad passed away as a 6-year old, you try to bargain with that, because my dad and I were incredibly close. I look like him, and he was my everything. And for him to just be taken away, it felt like he left me. So growing up, I had daddy issues for the longest time, that my daddy issues were in the sense that I did not trust men. I did not like men. Older men would just creep me out, except for older men in my family. But I just did not relate to men in a healthy way. And I couldn't see them as a protector, because the person that was meant to protect me died and left me. So I don't trust men. Growing up, you now start having better tools and understanding of what death is. And that's when I started to, you know, forgive my dad. I know it wasn't, that's the thing with death. You have to also forgive. You find yourself having to forgive the people that passed away, because you think, but couldn't you have fought to stay with me? You knew how much I needed you. You just left. You left me, but they didn't leave. Like, if my dad had a choice, there's no way he could have left me. But as a 6-year old, I didn't understand that. So I had to go back to that time and deal with the abandonment issues that I had, and nurse my inner child and protect that child as though, as the adult that I am today. So one of the things that I do is I look at a picture of myself from when I was 6, 7, when I started having those, when I went through the loss of my dad, and I'll speak to my. So what usually helps me, I'll take a picture from when I was 6 or 7, and I'll literally go back in time and empathize with the little girl and try love on her, and not deny the wound that she experienced, because now as an adult, I'm able and I'm equipped to deal with the pain of losing a dad and a protector and a friend and someone that I loved incredibly, you know. But that little girl was so confused, didn't know what to do, didn't know who to turn to. And imagine, like, life just became so empty, But luckily, I still had my mom and my other family members. But losing my dad was, uh, it was a defining moment of pain and hollowness that I carried for a long time. And that's the thing with the inner child. If you leave it alone and you don't nurture it, then you get it wilding out in different ways in your life, in how you react to people, how you react to situations, how what your trauma responses are. And it's based on the fact that in your formative years certain events took place, and you denied yourself the wound. You denied the wound, and you denied the fact that it even happened, even as an adult. So sometimes the best thing that you can do is validate your inner child. If you went through a traumatic moment, yes, go back there and see what it did to you, and see how it's affecting your relationships. And that's the only way you can move forward. You cannot run from yourself. We all have a day of reckoning. I remember when my mom passed away, I never expected it, but my inner child wilded out. What? That girl came out, and I felt like a little baby. When a child is left by a parent and she's just going to the shop and they throw tantrums, that was how I felt. I felt so alone, so unanchored, so scared. The world seemed so big, and I realized there are so many issues that I never went into and dealt with. And that was an opportunity for me to go back and have certain conversations. I remember my relationship with my mom from when I was a child, when we grew up, and why I was as distraught as I was, obviously because she passed away. But I was ooh, my mom's death crippled me. My mom's death crippled me. That lady was my light. That lady was heaven and earth. My mom was above the law. Like, if the police comes and says, do this, and my mom says, don't, I won't do it. I won't do it. And she was just the person that would do any and everything for me. And when she passed away, yo, I felt a huge chunk of me literally die, you know. And it's because as a child, it's like I went back to those emotions of losing my dad and now my mom. But I was 6 and now I'm 35. And having to marry the two losses was very difficult. So yeah, find ways to talk to your inner child, find ways to empathize with your inner child, to validate your inner child. That yes, we went through this. Yes, that person wasn't so nice to us. Yes, we could have misunderstood that, but now that I'm older, you are right. You were right in feeling unsafe in that particular moment. And find ways to speak better to yourself even as an adult, because sometimes maybe as a child you are so used to people talking down on you, and you carried that throughout your life, and you're too hard on yourself. So back to the paradigm, people, just realizing your trauma responses, why you deal with certain things, what can you change, what can you learn, how can you empower yourself. Because the great thing is that we don't have to stay the way we are right now. We can keep growing, and we can keep shedding things that are not good for us. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I always love having you guys here and just letting me know your experiences. So let me know, what does your inner child, is it feeling safe? Do you give it love? What techniques do you use in order to validate your inner child? We can always learn from each other. And if you want to expand the conversation, be part of a tribe, please remember to join our membership. And how you can join is reaching out on my email address, which is in the description link underneath. Thank you so much, guys. So much, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for reaching out. I'm so, so, so blessed to have you guys in this community and in my life, actually. I think of you guys as family, period. But anyway, we'll see each other on the next video. Remember, we are changing the paradigm one person at a time. If you haven't subscribed, do it now. And when you subscribe, go to the email and join our membership. All right. All right. Till next time. Love you guys. Mwah.